Welcome back to another episode on the MOD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how the Golden State Warriors are failing our boy Chef Curry. All right, so like I said, we're going to be talking about in this video how the Golden State Warriors, they've been failing Stephen Curry for quite a few years now. Ever since they won the championship, the first thing that they did was to make sure that they let go of all of their veteran players who played a significant role in that NBA Finals and give those minutes to the young guys. The young guys is where it's at. Who cares? We won a championship with the best player of our franchise's history, who has made us go from a team that was on the verge of selling our entire team to now being the most successful NBA franchise that grosses most that grosses some of the most money in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors have went from a poverty franchise to being one of the most valuable franchises in the league. And guess where that happened during? That happened during the Stephen Curry era. If you've seen NBA 2K25, you know about the Stephen Curry era where he changed basketball. This guy actually changed basketball. And you know what the Golden State Warriors have done for him ever since he won the championship, where we were all talking about how he doesn't have a co-star. Like, the whole story of that playoff run for the Golden State Warriors was they just won a ring without a co-star. I mean, imagine what they could do with a co-star, right? I mean, bro, how many star players have been available and the Golden State Warriors have struck it out on? I mean, the Golden State Warriors are failing Steph Curry. They're not being aggressive. They're being scared to move on from Clay, which they finally did, which was a good thing for them. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. They just scared to get Stephen Curry a second option. I don't know why. Golden State Warriors, they frustrated me a little bit. Why are they so bought into the tank? Why they doing what the Trailblazers were doing with Damian Lillard? They're like, hey, yeah, we bought in, but we gonna take James Wiseman here at number 2, Scoot Henderson at number 2, instead of trading this for a Jaylen Brown or I remember the. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm sorry, Golden State Warriors fans or anybody listening right now. I'm kind of rambling because I'm just upset with the Golden State Warriors. They don't have a second perimeter creator like that, man. Stephen Curry's asked to do so much and carry the offense on the perimeter, and it's just sick how perfect of a fit Zach LaVine is. But Golden State Warriors fans don't like it. But bro, if he's gonna fit and work out anywhere, wouldn't that be Golden State? Like, am I tripping? They need another perimeter creator, and he's right there in y'all face. And I do think that's something that the Golden State Warriors are going to come back to, y'all. Trust me. If it's not Zach LaVine, it's Stephen Curry. Somebody's getting traded. And look, somebody's getting traded. I've never seen Steph Curry voice frustrations, never seen him upset. And he's been doing that this offseason, rightfully so, because I'm telling you, ever since that ring, it seemed like Golden State said, you know what? Let's rebuild now. Let's rebuild now. The same thing that the Portland Trailblazers is doing with Damian Lillard. The only difference is in the prime of Stephen Curry's years, I should say, they were, going all into the tax, getting Kevin Durant and all that. So it's not like they've been failing him his whole career. But the past couple seasons, Steve Kerr is a coach who, bro, is he a good coach, y'all? Like, is he a good coach, or was he always just a babysitter? Because he had, like, the fabulous 5, Like, do we want to sit there and just look? Steve Kerr he has a Hall of Fame career. He's going to make the Hall of Fame and all that. But, like, the year they went 73-9, he was hurt. I ain't gonna lie. Like, the year they went 73-9 and was dominating, Steve Kerr wasn't there for the majority of the season. And soon as he came there, guess what happened? They blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. As soon as he started coming back for NBA playoffs, so he could be the coach during NBA playoff basketball, everything started going down. Or not, everything wasn't going down. That team was still dominated. But, Luke Walton should have just kept cooking at that point. If we gonna have the best season of all time, while you not here, Steve Kerr, just kick the curb, kick rocks. You feel me? I don't know why. I remember that season. I'm like, yo, this Luke Walton guy finna get a job somewhere. It may as well be Golden State. And look, bad coach over there. No, no, no. I said I don't know how I feel about Steve Kerr. No, bad coach over there. Bad guy. He's a bad coach. Not a bad guy, great guy, but bad coach. Bad coach, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Steve Kerr, he does have his pros though. Cause I ain't gonna lie, he is one of those guys who draw up some of the most off ball plays in the NBA. Not a lot of teams have a system to where they do that. I don't want to only criticize this man because like he is cool, but like his system is just too difficult for some reason, and he doesn't know how to put lineups together. Like Steve Kerr is just a bad coach, man. Sorry, I'm sorry. I try not to say he's a bad coach in this video, because I'm trying to be nice to Warriors fans, but nah, maybe y'all getting the real me. Maybe y'all gonna respect that a little more because nah, Steve Kerr a bad coach, bad coach. Either way, Draymond Green, here's the attention you want. It's your fault that this season was the way that it was. Draymond Green just wants his a little attention, so maybe he can get it here on the MLD Balls page to where I talk about how much of a shame you should be of yourself that your team only missed the playoffs or the top 6 seed by like 3 games and you were gone for like 25 games because you're selfish. You're selfish, and that's the only reason y'all didn't make the playoffs because of Draymond Green. As bad as Steve Kerr is, they could have still made the playoffs if Draymond Green was there because I do think Draymond Green is going to have a season where he's in the DPOY race and people are going to be like, whoa, Draymond is this good still? Because when I was watching him last year, Steph Curry was putting up a clinic in the fourth quarters, a clinic. Steph Curry was dropping bodies. And then you had Draymond Green, who was a defensive menace. Like, he was still playing great defense, playmaking great, but he just wants to be Dennis Rodman so bad. So here's the attention you want. You're not, man. Here's the attention you want, bro. Like, man, hate niggas like that. Just want attention so bad, bro. Like, you willing to throw your whole team under the bus. So man, I hate people like that, man. Here's the attention you want, Draymond Green, since you want attention. Sometimes give niggas what they want. Here's what you want, bro. You're a good player. Here's the attention you want. Gary Payton II. This is a team where Draymond Green, I remember on one of his podcasts, he was like, when teams see that, when players see that teams aren't giving up these future picks, we not bought into the season that much. And guess what they did? They bought into the season just for you to be a wannabe. A wannabe, just for you to be a wannabe. And guess what happened while you were wanting to be something? Y'all didn't make the playoffs. And guess what happened? Because they bought into the season that like you were acting like you were bought in as a player. You weren't even bought in yourself. And guess what happened? Y'all didn't make the playoffs and y'all lost out on pick 14 and the Blazers took somebody with y'all pick. That's a flip for the Blazers. They got pick 14 and got a guy who they overpaid off their books. That's a flip. And guess who influencing that team to go over there and do that trade? Draymond. Here's the attention you want because that's a flip for the Blazers. That's a flip. Either way, it sounds like I'm a guy who doesn't like the Golden State Warriors. I really do like the Golden State Warriors. One of my favorite teams to watch. Steph Curry's one of my favorite players of all time. It's frustrating seeing a team with so much ways to become better, not become better. Like they didn't buy into a big time trade to where they didn't have any pick equity. They drafted Steph Curry. They drafted Clay. They drafted Draymond. They signed KD. They still had their pick equity when KD left. But what did they do with it? They used it. They used all their draft capital while they had Stephen Curry on their team and got nothing out of it. If you have LeBron James on your team and you have pick 2 in the draft, are you using that shit? Hell fucking no. If you have LeBron James on your team and you have pick 7 in the draft, are you using it? Probably not. But Golden State Warriors, they just were so bought into this rebuild, and now you're where you want to be. So I'm happy for you. The fans that were all in on the young guys, I'm happy you are where you want to be. I'm happy for y'all. And yeah, this is what a rebuild looks like. So y'all kept saying buying into the young guys. Yeah. Let's buy into the young guys. I got a question. When you get a draft pick, What do you look for? Because what I look for is the next Stephen Curry. You have that on your roster and you're ungrateful. You're ungrateful about it, but you know, we 10 minutes in. Let's actually talk about basketball because that's what y'all come here for. We've been talking about everything outside of basketball. This team, it fits. If it fits, but it has a ceiling cap to it because I don't think they have a second perimeter creator, and they just asking a lot out of Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry could do a lot, and he has done a lot, but you're asking him to do more when you should be asking him to do less as he gets older. He has one of the games that's going to age the best out of all the star players, yes. But when you keep asking him to run off these screens all season like he does, it's very it's he's an Olympic marathonist. Like if you look at Miles Rand in the NBA, Stephen Curry is like Noah Lyles out there, or whatever those crossfield country runners be doing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The people who run like around the country. That's Stephen Curry, bro. Like, holy, he has to run off screens all day in that system. And Draymond Green, play quarterback. And this team has shooters next to him now, and Buddy Hield, which is a good thing. I think Buddy Hield should start. Probably a question with the Golden State Warriors this season is what do they do at shooting guard? But I think Buddy Hield is going to be a nice option because they would still ask Klay Thompson to shoot a lot of threes. And like I said, this team doesn't have a second perimeter creator, so they're gonna need like a second threat, And Buddy Hield next to Stephen Curry, hey, that is a backcourt that is going to be very interesting to watch. Because Buddy Hield, he kind of did have a down season last year, but even a down season, he was still objectively a great 3-point shooter in the NBA. And now he's on a team where he's going to be drawing up some of the best plays in his life. It just matters, is he going to, adjust to it quickly? And most of the guys, when they come to the Warriors, it just comes down to like shots falling down. So with Buddy Hield, if his shots falling down next to Stephen Curry, holy, they just got a Klay Thompson replacement for nothing. Which would be great because they save some money. They probably get a better playmaker, or not even probably. They will get a better playmaker than Klay with less of an ego. So good thing for the Golden State Warriors, and they got Jonathan Kuminga, who I do think he is the second scoring option, but he's not a perimeter threat. Jonathan Kuminga, he's very much downhill type of scorer. And one thing about him though is his 3-point shooting did get better when I was watching him last season. I don't know what the numbers say, but Jonathan Kuminga, he knocks them down. He knocks them down at a okay enough clip to where he could play small forward and be athletic rim pressuring guy who Draymond Green is gonna be next to him, and his defense is gonna get better. Draymond Green is a quarterback on both ends of the court. That's why I'm just like so upset that he's acting the way that he is because of how much of a valuable piece he is to this team. But he's acting like he's not. And Draymond Green, one of the best defenders in my opinion in the NBA still. I do think Draymond Green is a top 10 defender as we speak right now. I understand he's on the older side of the NBA, so a lot of people are like starting to look at him differently, but I still think he's a pretty similar player. I think the biggest thing about Draymond Green that's went away is his three-pointer and his ability to dunk the ball. But after that, Draymond Green is pretty similar to what he's always been. Got Kyle, or before I go to the bench, you got Trace Jackson Davis, who seems like a hit this last draft that they had on the second round. So Trace, athletic big, who's pretty short though. So we're gonna see how he fits in the long role in the long haul for the Golden State Warriors. But pretty good player right there. Off the bench, you got Pods, who he led the league in charges last season. Great hustle guy, good 3-point shooter, great defender. I love Pods. I think him in the backcourt is going to be a fun thing to have for the Warriors in the future. But honestly, somebody who I personally would let go. Honestly, I love Pods, but if it come down to lottery marketing, ain't what are we doing over here, But I could understand wanting to keep Pods. Great player, one of my more liked young players. He's fun to watch, and yeah, young guys like that, it's easy to gravitate towards them when they play as hard as Brandon Pods do. Nah, it's not. It's very easy. Kyle Anderson, he's like a mini Draymond, slow mo. You feel me? Good defender, good playmaker, can't shoot, get to the basket. He's literally going to be Draymond Green light for the Golden State Warriors, which is a good thing to have because they're going to be able to run the same scheme. Golden State Warriors, it's all about the scheme they run. They're going to have Literally, Kyle Anderson is just gonna be asked to be Draymond Green's backup. Literally. D'Anthony Melton is a great defender, great 3-point shooter. He has a back problem, I believe. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much games he plays. But if D'Anthony Melton is a high risk, low reward type of guy, because if he is playing and if he is healthy, he is better than Gary Payton the second, like on both ends of the court, and that says a lot because Gary Payton on defense is a dog, and Gary Payton is gonna be actually a good thing for him that D'Anthony Melton is on this team because they will be able to ask him to do, the Swiss Army knife stuff that Steve Kerr always asks Gary Payton to do. Sometimes Steve Kerr be out there asking Gary Payton to play center. Gary Payton is just a dog. You feel me? So the fact that D'Anthony Melton is going to be a good defender on the perimeter, maybe they'll be able to use Gary Payton in different ways and see how that goes. Because hey, y'all gave up pick 14 for that boy, so I better use him, right? Yeah. Either way, Andrew Wiggins, a guy who, yeah, we 10 players deep into this roster, and I'm just bringing up his name. Yeah, Andrew Wiggins, as a Golden State Warriors fan, if I were y'all, I would look at him the way I am. Just expect nothing out of him, And if he gives you something, guess what? You have something to root for during the season. You have something to be happy about. Because last year, I was so bought into the Warriors. Last year, I was like, Warriors are still a contender, y'all. They got Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, and Kuminga. Yeah, did they have Draymond? No. Did they have Kuminga? Wasn't starting. Did they have Andrew Wiggins? No. Yeah, last year with how high I was on this team is one of the reasons why I'm kind of, I'm seeing them for who they are. I'm seeing them for who they are. And Andrew Wiggins, I've seen this a lot. I've seen D'Lo. I've seen Ben Simmons, I've seen Jalen Green, I've seen guys just on contract years, you gonna remember me. When they had that contract negotiation table, hey, you remember what I did, boy? You remember what I did? Yeah. Do you remember how everyone was talking about how you were our second best player and we didn't have a second option, But Andrew Wiggins got his bag and he paid. Hey, I can't even hate on the young man. Get your bag and retire. You feel me? But Andrew Wiggins, he also seems like to be having real stuff going on. So I don't want to just assume like I know everything. Only reason I'm saying what I say is because going into the draft, I remember Andrew Wiggins' his biggest red flag was like his mental motor, similar to like Ben Simmons. So I wouldn't be shocked if Andrew Wiggins just got his bag and just chilling. A lot of players do that. If you're a big fan of the NBA, it's not something you can hate a guy for. Come on, millions of dollars, bro. You won a championship. What else does he have to play for? Um, but if he ends up having some motivation next season, hey, maybe he could be the special guy who comes out and makes this team a contender again. Because I just recorded a video about the Clippers. Hey, a lot of these teams I'm going down and recording for the Western Conference. Can you make the playoffs, man? Because there's only 8 spots. And there's like 13 teams that are deserving of it. So Golden State, can y'all make the playoffs? You feel me? Like, hey, gonna be something that we see. Kevin Looney, guy, great guy, man. I think he's so good, but Golden State don't use him that much until it's playoff basketball. For some reason, he was in like rumors of getting released. Kevin Looney, what? If Golden State released Kevin Looney, that's sick. I don't know why that was even a rumor. Because in the playoffs, he be going board for board with AD, points for points sometimes, man. Kevin Looney is a dog, and losing him is going to be something that I question for the Golden State Warriors if they really just willing to release him. Moses Moody is a guy who, building the young guys. You feel me? We love the young players. Why get back Bielitsa, Otto Porter, and them boys when young guys. Why bring back our veterans and just trade all of these draft assets for a star player next to Steph Curry and these veterans around Draymond Green when we can get win for the young guys and rebuild. You feel me? This is exactly what the Portland Trailblazers did when they had Damian Lillard. They drafted Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, building around that with CJ McCollum. This is giving me a lot of those type of vibes to where a team that deeply in their roots are a poverty team are showing their true colors, and that's what the Golden State Warriors are doing. and one of the worst front offices in the league, in my opinion, right now. I'm just very disappointed with this team. Very disappointed how they let Draymond Green do what he do. Very disappointed on how they not trying everything they could do to get their best player of all time, everything that he needs. Very disappointed with Steve Kerr. Very disappointed just with everything with this team because I do think they're capable of a lot more, and they've shown us that they are. Quentin Post is a good center, good scorer. Quentin Post is somebody who. Oh, Quentin Post is a stretch five. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Quentin Post stretch five. So we're gonna see if he could stretch out that court for the Golden State Warriors because that would be a huge thing. Pat Spencer, don't really know him. Guy Santos, don't really know him. End of the bench type of guys, not really too much known of them. Uh, their closers. I don't know who closes games for the Golden State Warriors. Like, who do y'all think should be their closing shooting guard? I I don't know. If they have Draymond Green, because there's gonna be times where he is their closer, they're gonna have Andrew Wiggins at small forward. Because is that the are they gonna have Kyle Anderson there? Like, I don't know what this team does, but with their closing lineup at least. But I don't know what they do, but I got another closing lineup where they got Trace in there. I think this is just better. I think just finding out what you do at the shooting guard position is better, and maybe you go with Pods here because Buddy Hield is kind of a defensive liability next to Stephen Curry. And do you really want that at the end of games? And Trace Jackson Davis isn't this generational defender to where he could, make up for that entirely. Draymond Green is, but you don't want to put on too much on Draymond. I don't know. I don't know what the Golden State Warriors do with the shooting guard position. Maybe it's just whoever's hot between Melton, Pods, Hield, Wiggins. Maybe that's just what it is. And we'll see what the Warriors do. Whoever fits best, whoever's playing best, whoever's healthy. Honestly, what it comes down to for that shooting guard position in their closing lineups. But they probably do need those three with Curry, Kuminga, and Green, no matter what, in every single variation of the closing lineup, because you'll have Green as the defender, Kuminga as the second scoring option, and Curry, man. Curry, man. And their rotation is going to be D'Anthony Melton, Pods. That's a great menacing defensive backcourt right there, bro, with Draymond Green leading that unit. So you're just going to put Draymond Green next to a bunch of defenders. That's nasty. That is nasty, bro. So that defensive lineup in those times for the Golden State Warriors when Stephen Curry's on the bench, other teams are not going to be able to score, Hey, if Curry's on the bench, y'all ain't going to be able to score neither. You feel me? And then next to Curry, you're going to have Looney, who had great chemistry with him. Wiggins, if Wiggins can't play next to Curry, like, who can you play next to? You feel me? And then Anderson, like I said, be that Draymond Green replacement. He literally plays just like Draymond Green, and I think him and Stephen Curry are going to be a fun duo to watch this season to see how good, Kyle Anderson could be next to Stephen Curry. I do think Kyle Anderson is a real good NBA player, underrated, so y'all going to see a lot out of him. Go to State Warriors fans. And y'all, before this video ends, bro, I just want to look at some trade targets for the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi Leonard, I understand he's at the older side of his, career, but like, who cares, man? Y'all got Steph Curry, dude. Why we keep rebuilding, bro? I'd rather roll the dice on Kawhi Leonard being healthy than keep rolling the dice on draft picks. You know why? Because one of these dices, I know for a fact, is a Hall of Fame player. With these draft picks, I'm just rolling. Kawhi Leonard, our biggest goal is just going to be how can we keep him healthy. It's a goal that the Clippers and the Spurs have been not that good at, and it is very scary. And if anyone has intel on Kawhi Leonard, Steve Kerr used to be a coach at the Clippers, and he is very rest in peace to Jerry West. I was gonna say he could have, also spoke with Jerry West, but unfortunately, that is something that none of us could do anymore, unless you rest in peace. And yeah. Off tangent. But Kawhi Leonard is somebody who the Golden State Warriors could have access to, and he would change everything for this team, bro. He will make them an ultimate contender. And yeah, Clippers. I guess if everything's going wrong for them, this is something I can see because Kawhi Leonard will still be in California. He loves LA. And, he'll be on a contending team next to Stephen Curry. It seems like he really want to play next to a point guard at this point in his career. And he will have Curry, man. You feel me? Brandon Ingram is going to be another guy who I just think this team needs another perimeter threat, bro. is just bad. It's just bad. And this Brandon Ingram trade is out of desperation. Honestly, it is. I'm just being honest with what it is. This is a desperation dart. I'd rather have Brandon Ingram than Moses Moody. Will y'all take Moses Moody in some picks? I'd rather have too much talent than too little. And then this Zach LaVine thing, I really think this is something that the Warriors come back to. I understand some Warriors fans might not like it, but he is a better talent. He is a better fit, and he's cheap in the trade market right now. Money wise, maybe that's why. And I understand some people don't like that contract, but remember, the Bulls wanted Andrew Wiggins and Chris Paul for this guy. I just made a whole 30-minute video about the Golden State Warriors, and I talked very little about Andrew Wiggins. Y'all not losing anything, man. Andrew Wiggins could go. Zach LaVine and Andrew Wiggins are two players who just need a new place, that both of them need it. And Zach LaVine is gonna be your Klay Thompson replacement. Just literally. Like, I do think Zach LaVine is still a good player in the NBA. Last year he dropped 50 on the Pistons, man. I'm not saying he's the best player. I'm not saying he's a top 20 player, but like Steph Curry, man. If Steph Curry can make Zach LaVine work, Steph Curry can make Zach LaVine have the best years of his career. Y'all don't think that? Because I do. Steph Curry and Draymond. Zach LaVine will not be asked to be this number one scoring option. He would not even be asked to be the second option on offense. Draymond will have the ball more than him, be quarterbacking. Zach LaVine would just be shooting and scoring. Like, this is a real good place for Zach LaVine. And the best thing for Golden State Warriors, of course, is Jimmy Butler, two-way threat. He can shoot, pass, defend, everything. Jimmy is Jimmy. The only thing with Jimmy is how seriously does he take the regular season? And with the Warriors, Jimmy ain't scared to say things. And he might scare away Steve Kerr. Like the Golden State Warriors might be scared to add on someone like Jimmy Butler because, like, he will make them choose between him and Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is over there bullshitting on his team. So Jimmy Butler, that's the biggest downfall to him. As a Warriors fan, if you were to trade for, or as a Heat fan, speaking to you, he's not scared to voice his opinion. He will let you know when you're wrong. So as a team with Draymond Green and Steve Kerr, is that another personality you're willing to add to that locker room? That's the only thing with Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the Golden State Warriors. Good team. I wonder what their ceiling is because this isn't a lot of teams. I try to close my eyes and see if there's any world where they can win a championship. Y'all, how this Golden State Warriors roster's currently constructed, I don't see it. And Stephen Curry is playing like a top 5 player in the world. And this team doesn't look like a championship team to me. Unfortunate news, unfortunate timing for Stephen Curry because he's still playing great basketball. And hopefully this team with all this pick equity that they have go in and get some target for Steph Curry to where, he has a second option. He hasn't had a second option since Kevin Durant left. I'm not even joking. Since 2019, we're in 2024 now. It's been half a decade since Stephen Curry has had a co-star. Golden State, go do something, man. Come on, man. Y'all playing with that boy. But everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode on the MLD Balls page. We currently at 178 subscribers. So if you could like, comment, subscribe, that'd be very much appreciated. And have a nice day. And everybody, God bless.